Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Grabe, siguro sa talagang nagkukumahog ang marami na mag-apply ng iba't ibang mga PR streams in Canada. Yung backlog na nangyayari ngayon, I think siguro, I'm guessing in what we are seeing now are unprecedented levels. In some streams, at least. Grabe yung processing time ngayon, guys. Let me show you my first example. Sa ano po 'to? Atlantic Immigration Program, AIP. Ito masyado matagal kung tutuusin sa ipapakita ko sa inyo mamaya. Immigrate through the Atlantic Immigration Program. Processing time, 37 months. 37 months. This processing time doesn't include the time you need to give biometrics, ang sabi po dito. Of course, para sa mga hindi po nakakaalam, yung AIP program, marami pong nag-a-apply dyan to become permanent residents in Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Okay? Let me show you this next one, ang processing time. Sa humanitarian PR based on humanitarian and compassionate grounds. Wow, guys, more than 10 years. Teka, iba pala yung itsura ko. Yan. Grabe, guys, more than 10 years. Kaya ilalagay ko na yung aking title. Ayan na. Guys, madali naman po i-check ang mga iba't ibang processing times depende kung anong stream. Pupuntahan nyo lang po yung IRCC website. Mag-google kayo, IRCC processing times. It will lead you, I'm very sure, dito sa website na ito. So if you select your type of case, sinlik ko yung humanitarian and compassionate cases. Let's just pretend applicant is going to live outside Quebec. Have you already applied? Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, when did you apply? Sabi mong nag-apply just last month, September 2025. Ang processing time, ayun din pala nasa baba, no? Ayan. More than 10 years. Nakakaloka. Estimated time left. Estimated time left. Maghihintay ka ng more than 10 years. Ang sabi dito, sa HNC to guys, about 15,900 people are ahead of you. Okay, tapos ang naghihintay daw ng desisyon ngayon, 49,400 people. Okay? So yung people applying now should be processed in more than 10 years. Wow! I have so many questions about this. Timely, no? Remember, last week lang pinag-uusapan natin yung birthright citizenship, diba? So yung mga nag-a-apply po ng PR based on humanitarian and compassionate grounds dahil nagkaroon po sila ng anak dito sa Canada while on temporary resident status, ito po usually ang kanilang ruta. Ang dami kong tanong, so what happens during this waiting period? Ano ba ang magiging status ni temporary resident? Diba? Ano, implied status ba ito the whole time? Later on, I will discuss it because I am taping this portion of this episode separately sa interview natin with our suking immigration lawyer, Ludang Zalan. Okay? Just to save time, ginagawa ko na to na mas maaga. So ngayon, I was curious, kailan kaya nag-umpisa itong 10 years? Okay, na processing time. Pinaglaruan ko, no, itong when did you apply section. Nakikita niyo po ba? Yan. Just to check, okay? It appears, itong estimated more than 10-year period ay applicable for those who applied from January or from July 2024 onwards. Kasi tignan nyo guys, if i-click ko po yung July 2024, more than 10 years ang estimated time left. Pero kung gawin mong June, biglang magiging 112 months. Diba? Although hindi to mabilis, ang tagal pa rin ng 112 months. Pero ano kaya ang nangyari from July 2024 or nung July 2024 na naging dahilan na biglang 10 years na ang processing time, no? But anyway, ito na po, meron pong paliwanag si immigration lawyer Ludang Zalan tungkol dito. Ano kaya epekto nito sa status ng mga maapektuhan nito? Here it is. Okay, Lou, what is going on? Yung Atlantic Immigration Program, 32 or 37 months ang processing time. Yung
37
HNC
ba?
is
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah.
More than
It's
10
true.
years ang paghihintay. Una sa lahat, what led to this severe backlog sa processing time? Delay. Oo.
Grabe, ano? 20, depende kasi ang maganda dito sa sa processing timeline tool ng ng immigration, in-update nila. So, tinatanong nila kailan ka ba nag-apply kasi ginagamit nila yung historical data at the time of application kasi syempre depende sa queue yan, 'di ba, kung nasan ka. Ano ba nangyari? Well, una sa lahat, karamihan ng programs nagsara, 'di ba? Practically speaking. In a sense na konti yung mga draws or yung iba halos wala, 'di ba? So, ano ba yung mga programs na pwede kang under control? For example, Atlantic, na once na maging eligible ka, you can just submit an application and you just wait. Yun nga lang yung downside ng mga direct application programs is if you apply and waiting game siya, kapag ka dumami yung applicant pool, lumaki, tatagal din ang processing. Sa actually, pre-express entry world, bibigyan ka ng example. Dati noon, walang express entry. So, ano meron nun? Federal Skilled Worker Canadian Experience Class, mag-a-apply ka directly. Pero alam natin yung Federal Skilled Worker, there is the minimum entry criteria, yung points. Out of 100, you need to get a minimum of 67. It still exists, but it's a nuance in express entry now. Pero noon nga, kapag meet mo yung 67 points, mag-a-apply ka, tapos hintayin mo. Pero hintay nito is like, we're talking like years. Paminsan, 7 years yung backlog
so ganun
noon.
din, oo.
So, ganun yung nangyayari dahil ang dami nag-a-apply, ang daming nasa queue. Diba?
Yeah. Well, okay lang kung sila ay outside Canada. Right? Okay lang. How does this affect those who are applying sa
Canada.
stream na yan? Tapos yung mga naka-temporary permit na mag-expire na, how do they navigate the long wait?
Right. It depends on which program they're in. Yun yung kalalabasan nito. So, Atlantic tayo So, kung sa Atlantic tayo, merong special work permits, closed work permits na LMIA exempt specific to people who are candidates in the AIP and those who have already submitted a PR application. So, hindi or. So, ibig sabihin, kung may acknowledgement of receipt na kayo under the Atlantic Immigration Program, tapos yung work permit ninyo papaso na, pwede kayo mag-apply ng bridging work permit. Pero ito ay closed with your employer. Right? Kasi job contingent ang AIP, di ba? So, in other words, depending on the program, there could be ways to fix it. But obviously, because of these processing delays, nagkakaroon ng mas malaking chances of failure dahil dumadami yung points of failure. Di ba? Lalo na kung job offer dependent siya. So, nakaka-nervyos siya.
Okay, I want to talk about naman itong more than 10 years na processing time for HNC. Has that ever happened? Na ganyang katagal? It's so crazy. More than 10 years. Okay. Paano yung sitwasyon nito if you are here inside Canada? At
So,
yan ang
paglaruan natin to So, halimbawa ito, nag-submit ako ng humanitarian compassionate case from going to live outside Quebec. I've already applied. Let's say I applied in March of 2024. It says here, HNC cases outside Quebec, estimated time left, 77 months left. Last updated October 9, updated monthly. It may increase yung processing times.
Nag-umpisa yung more than 10 years. Kinalikot ko din July 2024 onwards, lahat more than 10 years.
Bakit kaya? Ano kaya nangyari noong 2024? I mean, you and I talk about it all the time kapag ka nandito. Ibig sabihin, ang daming mga nag-a-apply, ang daming temporary residents. Ibig sabihin, dumadami yung nasa queue. Tingnan mo to, grabe, di ba? Nakalagay 77 months for agency cases outside Quebec. Yung challenge dito, Ina, is, nakalagay dito, in-update kasi nila yung portal. People ahead of you, 8,900. Number of people waiting for decision, 49,400. Diba? Ang dami. Imagine mo, ang isang respectable standard agency application will comprise of hundreds of pages. Tao ako, babasahin ko, may obligasyon akong basahin yung case every single page. right? Hindi
Mhm.
kasi kaya ng visitor visa na pwedeng i-skim, 'di ba?
Yeah.
And it's the law presumes that the officer reads it. But in agency cases, the officer must read every single word of the application. They're held to
Oo.
it. So yung challenge dito, mas matagal talaga ang processing time by nature of the
Mhm,
application.
mhm.
Dalawa, if you have so many applicants, dito ka maiinis eh. Dito maiinis yung mga viewers, maiina. Yung
Mm.
mga non-meritorious, yung mga undeserving applicants, kinoclog nila yung system for those who really need this.
Yeah. And they are
Diba?
doing that just to buy time.
Yeah,
Effective way ba to buy time? I mean, hindi
they're
ba that's a
buying time
different
for
oo eh.
yeah, you're buying time for the inevitable. Kung madedenay ka, anong gagawin mo after? Diba?
Pero 10 years sila nandito. On what status pag ganun?
Enjoy nyo yung magiging precarious kayo. Hindi kasi normal, hindi kasi automatic eh na meron kang work permit kapag ka mga ganyang
Oo,
circumstances.
oo.
Yung mga bata ninyo affected. Halimbawa, maayos naman ang buhay ninyo in your home country. Bakit dadaan mo yung anak mo sa putik? Hindi ko
Oo.
maintindihan talaga, sa totoo lang. Sometimes, like, we have to admit na, yeah, like, life is hard in the Philippines, but life can also be hard in Canada. To me, from a policy perspective, yung paglabas nila ng transparency initiative nila na ganito yung kanilang processing times, good on IRCC. It's terrible because, like, it's scary. These numbers are scary. But at the same time, there's a reason why they're trying to scare people. They're trying to scare people, detract them from prevent them from even thinking about going this particular route. Ngayon, if you're thinking about, they're buying time, enjoy that glamorous life na,
Mhm.
hindi ka makakapag-advance in your life, in your career, your children, they're going to be that, in very precarious conditions. Honestly, pag isip-isip tayo kung ganito yung pupuntahan natin.
Oo, I won't be surprised if later on or soon magkaroon ng bagong policy siguro. 'Di ba minsan tinutulak nila kapag may ganitong katinding backlog. Halimbawa na nangyari yung biglang dumami yung applications for the asylum claims.
Mhm.
Ginagawa nila first in,
First
first
in,
out.
first out.
Oo, para ma-discourage na, 'di ba? Hindi na dumami pa yung
No, I
pile.
think it
Tama,
is
pwede ba
first
yun?
in, first. It is first in, first out technically for those. I mean,
Oo.
in principle. Ang gusto at narinig ko na tong proposal na to, ito pinropose ito ng mga conservatives before, and there's some wisdom to it, na para ma-prevent yung mga bogus claims,
Yan.
yung mga latest na sinubmit, ipaprocess kagad. How it works operationally on the ground is what they're probably going to do is they're going to create a special team to deal with the current applications.
Yeah.
Not the live applications, but like yung incoming current. Para isi-screen nila, genuine ba to? Meron silang express na kapag ka hindi genuine, mas mabilis yung processing, unahin nila yung mga bagong dating para ma-detract or
Yeah.
ma-deter rather yung mga papasok na bogus. Kasi
Yeah.
yung ano na to, ang point nila is integrity. And actually, while I have reservations about the system, in principle, it tries to preserve the integrity of the system. To be fair to the conservatives. Ayan dun sa mga nag-accuse sa akin na pro-liberal, anti-conservative. But seriously though, like, yun nga kasi yung main issue ko din talaga is yung integrity, diba? Like, if
Mhm.
the integrity is questionable, people will not follow the rules na. At magkakalabo-labuan tayo dito na parang Commonwealth Avenue.
Yeah. Hindi nila mage-gets yung Commonwealth Avenue mo.
Mag-drive
Okay,
kayo sa
teka, huli na lang
Commonwealth.
siguro. Huli na lang siguro, do you think etong ganitong level of delay or long processing time will be limited to these two streams, HNC, tsaka yung Atlantic Immigration Program? Kasi chinek ko yung ibang mga, let's say, PNP, hindi pa naman. Months pa rin. Do you think baka eventually maging ganito rin for, I don't know, whatever reason?
Ang suspicion ko yung mga high priority programs such as Express Entry in Canada applications, healthcare, all of that, category based, they're safe. The processing times for Express Entry, pabilis nga ng pabilis eh.
Okay, yeah.
PNP, medyo may konting backlog. And I think this is because the government is trying to shift people to apply to the high priority streams. Naka-attune talaga siya sa labor market needs ng Canada. So this is Canada sending signals Ano ba
Mhm.
yung expression ng Gen Z? Like, how to say you're this without saying this. Gano'n, di ba? Parang gano'n.
Alright.
Ito si Candid, sinasabi niya na gusto ko healthcare workers, gusto ko construction workers, without saying gusto ko healthcare workers and construction workers.
Right.
So, they're doing it other ways.
Okay. Oh, guys, thank you. Guys, tuloy. Lou, thank you so much for your insight, for explaining to us kung ano na nangyari dito. I will end
Always.
this episode here. Sabi ko nga, guys, tinape ko na, Lou, yung earlier intro ko dito sa idudugtong ko dito. But, hindi na ako babalik dun sa una kong suot, ha. I will end this episode here, guys. See you guys in the next one. Thank you, Lou. Bye.
Bye.
We'll end recording.